Welcome to the midweek message. We're in Proverbs chapter 15, and we're going to be looking at verses 6 through 10. Proverbs is a wonderful book full of wise sayings and general principles that are true in most instances in life. I say in most instances because there are factors in all of the happenings in our lives and in the decisions we have to make, which sometimes force us to make different moves and approach things in different ways. But the book of Proverbs is wise sayings and principles that we can apply. Let me give one illustration of the fact. The book of Proverbs says two things that seem to be contradictory. It says to answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. It also says, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou be considered like to him. And so the book of Proverbs, the book of wisdom, says that according to whatever the circumstances are, the approach may need to be different. And so this same idea carries through the entire book of Proverbs. They are wise sayings that are generally true in most cases in life, with some variance according to the circumstances. And so we're going to look at Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 6, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation of the Bible. Righteous men keep their wealth, but wicked men lose theirs when hard times come. Knowledge is spread by people who are wise, not by fools. The Lord is pleased when good men pray, but hates the sacrifices that wicked men bring him. The Lord hates the ways of evil people, but loves those who do what is right. If you do what is wrong, you will be severely punished. You will die if you do not let yourself be corrected. Now, verse 6, in a way, gives an illustration of the point I was making just a moment ago. Righteous men keep their wealth. Does that mean, do you think that every righteous person is prospered financially? That they're always able to hang on to their money? Well, of course it doesn't mean that. But righteousness is generally something that helps us even when we make financial decisions. Now, Scripture says righteous people keep their wealth. And I even thought that perhaps when it says righteous, maybe it means righteous in financial matters, because it is beyond any doubt that if a person makes bad financial decisions, doesn't much matter what kind of person they are, they're not going to end up being prospered monetarily. Righteous people keep their wealth, but wicked men lose theirs when hard times come. When times are good, there's not much to worry about. But when difficulties come, people that are having financial troubles anyway, they tend to bear the brunt of those bad times. And so righteous people keep their wealth. Solomon said, wicked men lose theirs when hard times come. I don't think there's much doubt that if you spend your money in a good way, in a reasonable way, and in a righteous way, doing things that are right with it, giving to the Lord, giving to others, you have a better chance of keeping your wealth. But hard times hit those that have spent their money foolishly, especially viciously. There are a lot of people who just throw their money away. They just throw it away. Verse 7 says, knowledge is spread by people who are wise, not by fools. Just because somebody says something and it sounds good, doesn't mean that they're really people of knowledge. As a matter of fact, there are well-fabricated lies that are pretty well accepted by the general populace in our land and in other places, I'm sure, around the world. But it is not fools that spread knowledge. It is the wise. Of course, we could apply this even spiritually to the fact that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Verse 8, the Lord is pleased when good men pray, but hates the sacrifices that wicked men bring him. David said, Lord, you don't want a sacrifice, or I would bring it, but you want a broken and a contrite heart, a spirit that is submissive to you. God is pleased at the prayers of people that love him. He hates the sacrifices, no matter what they are, that wicked people make. But he's pleased when good people pray. Maybe you struggle with your prayer life. I have, others have as well. Maybe we don't see them, our prayers working out or bringing about the results we'd like to see. Of course, this sometimes is because of our lack of knowledge and our misunderstanding of what God's plan is. But make no mistake, God is pleased when good people pray. Verse 9, the Lord hates the ways of evil people, but loves those who do what is right. It's hard to separate people from their deeds. Now, I will be the first to admit that sometimes people are better than some of their deeds. In other words, some of the bad things they do are sort of exceptions to the rule. Sometimes people that live lives in a generally wicked or bad manner do some very good things too. So that may be true on either side, but make no mistake, God hates the ways of wickedness and loves those who do what is right. It is hard to separate who you are from what you do. Verse 10 follows up on that thought. If you do what is wrong, you will be severely punished. You will die if you do not let yourself be corrected. In a large sense, we are rewarded for our deeds. Now, it is true that some people do some very bad things that do not seem to come back on them or return on them in like fashion in this life. And of course, we commit those things to eternity. But in general, people who do wrong are punished in this life, and certainly in the next. And all of us have done some bad things and some unwise things. And so the scripture urges us to allow ourselves to be corrected, because we will die if we do not. And you may very likely lose your life. I may lose mine if we don't allow ourselves to be corrected. But certainly we need to receive the correction of the Lord. The Lord hates evil ways, and he loves righteous deeds. If we do wrong, we'll be severely punished. Let's allow ourselves to be corrected, that we may live.